shade into sunshine. Away from Gabriel, here's Sancho. Rolled up for Marcus Rashford. One more here for Antony!
Okay, to the Premier League football, Rog. Man United 3, Arsenal 1. United win their fourth game on the bounce against top of the table, previously undefeated Arsenal Football Club. It was United who lit the fuse on this footballing spectacle in the 35th minute when $95 million Brazilian new boy Antony slotted one with his left foot past Aaron Ramsdale. But, as they've proved already this season, this Arsenal can take a punch. In the 60th minute, Bukayo Saka swept a ball into an empty net, but a rash beans brace and a really impressive performance from this United side gave them all 3 points in the end. After losing their first two games, United move up to 5th place. Arsenal, meanwhile, stay top after their first drop points of the season.
A battle between Ten Haag, who looked as he walked out with grim determination towards the technical area, bald of head, clipped to beard, open neck white shirt, like a stern puritanical preacher who has his grip on an entire town, facing up to Arteta in his casual black sweatshirt slot, the new kid who just appeared as a high school senior and turned that whole class onto the Devil's rock and roll music. It was the footloose derby for the off Davo. Young Arsenal, perfect on the season. Their first true test, entering a venue where they'd only won twice in their last 20 visits, and United, optimism surging, the 13th most expensive transfer of all time, $100 million Antony, getting the instant start. Davo, $100 million for the neck tattoo. They attached the person. They got the person who was attached for free on loan. And every Arsenal fan I know before kick-off was desperate and full of anguish, despite that team's perfect record. My Gooner mate Michael Cohen texted me, "Oh, we've got United VAR Mason Riley FC playing against us and I'm bloody terrified." And God, the man was a prophet, because United physically robust up for it, breaking up Arsenal's attempts to play their purring game with organisation and force until the 12th minute. Arsenal sprang forward. Martinelli charged half the length of the field, finished ruthlessly, ran towards the camera. Joy! But then VAR cut in, so a push on Eriksen by Odegaard to grab possession. What did you make of it, Davo? Subjective call, big call, but was it a clear and obvious error?
Well, look, I think what Arteta said after the game is he just wished that VAR could be consistent. You know, it was only a few weeks ago that we saw Chelsea playing Arsenal's North London rivals Tottenham, and Kai Havertz was fouled, pretty clearly before a Tottenham goal, and VAR didn't step in and didn't do anything about it. And this is the consistency or the inconsistency of VAR that drives managers crazy. Yes, I think it was a foul, softish, but even Roy Keane admitted it was a foul, although he took a moment to bemoan the game is gone when that is a foul. But I think it was a foul. But, VAR, once again, showing absolutely no consistency whatsoever.
Psychologically, that kind of moment changes a game. When Martinelli went through on the counter and slapped the ball deliriously into the net, in that second, I was so sure Arsenal would win. And then the second the goal was ruled off, felt like a massive swing of momentum. They were playing away from home. It was almost as if United had had a reprieve, became more alert, more switched on. Arsenal momentarily deflated. Michael Cohen, God bless him, texted me in that moment, "Oh, bollocks, we are playing against 15 men." And his pessimism proved true. 35 minutes, really a goal forged out of Ten Hag's ideas bedding in. And Paul Tierney's willingness to call a terrific advantage. Bruno fouled. Play on! Sancho pounced. Found Rashford, who slipped towards a charging Antony. God, what feelings he must have experienced, surging in on goal, first touch, opening up his body, making his dreams come true, and then just reeling away, kissing the badge, mercenary bastard, unleashing really 4 or 5 sellies. And there was the ball up the tummy, there was the thumb in the mouth, there was the whole works, Davo. It was as if he'd unleashed his first 5-6 weeks of goal-scoring manoeuvres, all after one goal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic move. It was a fantastic goal. Fantastic debut. I was so struck afterwards by Ten Hag's reaction. A man who seems pretty cool most of the time, and those fist pumps, like 6 of them staccato right and away. The sense of relief that seeing this signing that he's brought in just immediately getting off to such a great start.
Yeah, when Everton had Roberto Martinez as a manager, the few times we'd score a goal, Roberto would punch his arm straight into the air so his jacket would go back, and the watch sponsor that gave him a small fortune would get the exposure in that minute. I've got a feeling Ten Hag's done some kind of endorsement deal with Shake Weight, Davo, because that was the move, and it did. It was more powerful for me in terms of the number of shake weights I ordered Sunday afternoon than any infomercial. But the cameras also cut to Ronaldo on the subs bench, clapping like Shia LaBeouf, and you just knew as you watched it how much all of this is killing Ronaldo on the inside, pretending to be thrilled for his teammates performing so well without him. There's nothing he hates more in the world, is there?
Yeah, pretending to be thrilled. There's got to be a German word for that. I doubt there's a Portuguese word for it, but it is he was cutting quite a figure on the bench.
Ron, crying on the inside. And Arsenal, God, talking about crying on the inside, I think they'd only conceded 4 times this season. And we've talked all campaign that they've not really been forced to face true, terrifying adversity eye to eye. And here, there was a lot of adversity. The combination of from the Arsenal perspective, the lingering injustice created by the VARing off, and then the goal against the run of play. What a petri dish for their truth. Into the second half, United went to low block to try and invite Arsenal onto them. And I've got to say, one of the most hilarious storylines of the season, knee-jerk wise, is how 3 weeks ago, Davo, didn't we all decide that Lisandro Martinez, 5'9", was too tiny to be an elite defender? He's too small to play with the big lads. And now we've all decided he's an invincible sex god.
Basically, it's a week is a long time in football, Rod. 3 weeks is an ice age.
It's amazing. Like, we've all got this new memo that he is just able tactically to repel all comers, and it started to feel more than a little frustrating for Arsenal fans. Odegaard, whiff from close range, a Saka drive flash wide of the post. Gabriel Jesus would later rue his team's inability to, quote, kill United. And Arsenal fans vented their gnawing angst by singing, "Ball Tierney, he's one of your own," to the Old Trafford faithful. But then Odegaard passed up the gut. Jesus latched on. Dalot deflected it away from Jesus in the area, and the ball ran loose for Saka to score from 12 yards. First of the season for that Prince. And in that moment, David, it felt like more than a goal, more than an equaliser. It really felt like it, in a way, for Arsenal fans, cosmic justice was restored to the universe. But as you watched Arteta punch the air of relief, it felt like you sensed Arsenal would go away now and grab a winner.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was let's see what Man United's spine is like. Let's see how they can bounce back. But then, and we'd already seen the signs earlier in the game, Rog, what I was struck by is the game was just taken over by one Christian Eriksen.
What a early to call signing of the season that human being was. The control he gives United, the deep intelligence, the creativity that they have yearned for the past 2 seasons, all flowing from that gentleman. And God, it gives the confidence to all those around him, because it was United who responded to the gut punch. Bruno released Rashford with a ball that took out the central defenders with a just delicious swish of the outside of his foot. I mean, God, it was like watching someone whiff off another player's underpants without removing his shorts. It was proper witchcraft. Rashford ran on, and for a year, that is a man who's been living inside his own head in public. He's just not believed in himself, lost on the left, missed chance after chance. Here, with delight, he plunged the dagger into Arsenal, lifted that ball over Ramsdale, and my God, Davo, I was so thrilled for him as he reeled away. Just, isn't the world a better place when Marcus Rashford is playing with joy?
Yeah, it was a Rashford goal of yore. A quiet celebration for the man, but what must have been going through his head in that moment, and what must have been going through the head of England manager Gareth Southgate also.
God, it would get worse for Arsenal, because Arteta chased the game by flinging on a triple attacking substitution, changed his structure, really only left his team more vulnerable, more open. And United, Davo, I mean, the possible, too early to call, but let's call it anyway, signing of the season, Christian Eriksen, in that moment, fused with this defensive solidity that Ten Hag has initially focused on as his platform, with Eriksen in that as that creative heart, giving United control, intelligence, creativity in the heart of the team. The gentleman just took over the game as soon as Zinchenko went off.
Yeah, absolutely. It's his speed of thought, Rog, and his ability to immediately receive the ball, turn upfield, and go the right way. And it just changes the entire look of Man United's central midfield and the whole look of their attack. And it was really wonderful to watch. I found myself cheering for them.
And it was Dalo that clipped a lovely pass through the back line to spring your man Christian, charged into the area, lured Ramsdale out. And I've got to ask you, how many players would pass from Eriksen's position rather than take that shot themselves?
Yeah, I mean, very, very few. And he held the pass till the perfect moment. I mean, almost until the moment that Rashford was holding himself back from, going ahead of the ball. But it was just a superb release and an easy finish.
Astonishing. And we should note, Arsenal fans, Eriksen arguably charged through the very space Partey would have been. How Arsenal miss him out with injury. But so much respect for Eriksen. Because in context, United, these past few seasons, really have been a rabble of individuals. Great individuals in name. But his pass there, when most others would have shot, really is the ultimate symbol of the collective, which Ten Hag is trying to inculcate. Rashford said as much post-game, that togetherness is the big thing for me. From today, you only win these types of games when you're together as a team, which perhaps was a subtweet of one Cristiano Ron, but 3-1, and even Harry Maguire got on the field. 4 straight wins now for United. This one, to me, the second big game of the season after Liverpool, in which you turn on expecting United to be exposed, and instead they rolled up their sleeves, unfurled a disciplined, intelligent, passionate performance. And I've got to say, huge respect to Erik Ten Hag. 22 days ago, Davo, took a barrage of haymakers straight to the face and some to the down belows against Brentford, shrugged them off, retained confidence in his own ideas, his own tactics, his own ability to lead, which was not a given, took a toxic situation, has quickly turned it into one where everything feels possible again. Those scenes at full time, smiles, Bruno, Rashford, even McTominay, who was excellent, the applause of the fans back, and for once, Old Trafford didn't feel as it has in the past 4 or 5 years when it won a one-off game. Just like, yeah, we did good today. It feels like something is building. I kept thinking of Rudyard Kipling's If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blame it on you, if you can trust yourself, Ten Hag, when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can drop Ronaldo and keep the English tabloids from eviscerating your down belows into powder. Davo, if Manchester United are back from the dead, is Ten Hag a necromancer?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think you're right. I think this was important and interesting. One of those very rare times that that both adjectives apply to a game. And, for younger or newer Premier League fans who don't remember a time when Man United were dominant and played beautiful football, which many American Premier League fans don't remember, Man United always played like this. This is who they were. And it is good for the Premier League. If Man United are back under Ten Hag, it is good for the Premier League.
Attack, attack, attack. Those 3 words that United fans keep emptily crying out during games. Under Mourinho, under Louis van Gaal, under David Moyes, under Ole. They're not just words. They were once true realities, young listeners. Manchester, I know this blows your mind. Manchester United were once a great team who won things, right? Many things.
Yeah, all the things.
All the things! And we are, it needs to be said, some way from seeing Ten Hag's true system. That is still to come. But if I was a United fan, I would hope that he can keep Ronaldo in his corner. He said before the game his goal is to be both teacher and friend to Cristiano Ronaldo, which felt like some kind of Dutch Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. 5th place now, Crystal Palace, Leeds, and then Man City to come. And I do believe there is much more on its way. You see that depth in the squad now, Davo, Antony, Casemiro, players, as I say, like McTominay, much improved, Eriksen leading. Suddenly United have a whole new depth chart. And retrospectively, that 4-0 humiliation at Brentford might be the best thing that happened to Ten Haag, led United to reportedly suddenly doubling his transfer budget. Golden days lie ahead. Can we button up Arsenal, David?
Yeah, I mean, they're still top of the table. They've still got 15 points. This has been a phenomenal start to the season. Yes, they were challenged. There's no embarrassment to lose to a Man United team playing this well. They got the little, they got that little confidence knock of what happened with VAR early in the game, but they did bounce back. They equalised. I think Arteta will be happy with the way his team performed. Maybe ask some questions about himself tactically, about what he did, after they got back into the game. But I think Arsenal still look very strong, still look like a very good Premier League football team.
Michael Cohen texted me at the final whistle, gutted but not despondent, in the most despondent way possible. But I've been watching a lot of All or Nothing, as have most of you listeners, and I'm sure that it's nothing that Arteta cannot fix without the use of a couple of gratuitous F words. His team dominated this game for long spells. They left with nothing, perhaps naively. They played at times, but they will learn from this. Expected goals telling: Man United 1.47, Arsenal 1.52. But the game was always settled by real goals. Perfect record, no more. And last season when they lost, they always went into a wobble, a tailspin. Let's see what lessons they learned from this, how they now respond. Next up in the league, Everton Football Club. Nice, easy bounce back game. Listen to the full version of this podcast and all our podcasts wherever you get your pods. But first, subscribe here for more Men in Blazers videos. And courage.